If you are taking these antacids regularly and you have been doing it for months, that's not just acidity, that's GERD, a chronic disease that silently burns your esophagus. And by the time you realize it's serious, years of damage has already been done. I am Dr. Adarsh, a senior gastroenterologist. The fish sound that you hear, for millions of Indians, it's a sound of relief. They say, it's just acidity, my stomach is burning, I'll just take an antacid. Had something heavy last night, maybe that's the reason. We have all said it, we have all believed it, as always. It's just acidity, nothing serious. 20 years ago, only about 7 to 8% of Indians had GERD. Today, it's around 22% in cities. That's nearly 1 in 4 urban adults, and most of them don't even know that they have this disease because we have convinced ourselves that acidity is just part of life. As Indians, we learn to adjust quickly. But to understand this better, let me paint a picture of your day. Let's say your office ends at 8 p.m. Your commute takes another 1.5 hours. So you reach home exhausted at 9:30. Then there's a fresh dinner waiting for you at 10 and you scroll through Netflix while you eat. By midnight, you're lying flat with full stomach. That's when it happens. The burning starts. So obviously, you reach for the antacid sachet and not surprisingly, it works. And then you are off to bed. It might seem like normal ritual, but more you reach for antacid sachet, the more food pipe burns. What's actually happening is this. When you eat late and lie down immediately, the acid from your stomach flows back to your food pipe. Antacid does neutralize it, but only for 30 minutes. But the underlying problem, it's looming, always there, night after night. Let me explain this simply. There is a valve between your food pipe and stomach, like a door. When this door weakens or opens at wrong time, the stomach acid escapes upward. Our stomachs are designed to handle the acid, not the esophagus. Our bodies can handle occasional acid exposure. But when it happens repeatedly, week after week, month after month, it's a signal. The lining of your esophagus is slowly getting damaged. First, there is inflammation, then erosions, then there can be ulceration, narrowing of food pipe, and sometimes cancer. Here's the key insight that changes everything. It's really not about just spicy food. It's about when you eat, how much you eat, and what you do after you eat. That biryani at 11 p.m. followed by lying down immediately, that's far more damaging than moderately spiced lunch at 1 p.m. where you stay upright for 3 hours afterward. Research shows that eating within 3 hours of bedtime dramatically increases acid exposure in the food pipe. One study even found that simply eating dinner before 7 p.m. instead of after 9 p.m. reduced nighttime acid exposure significantly. So the real villain isn't the spice alone. It's the late night dinner and the Netflix in bed that follows. Now, I want to be clear about something. If you're watching this and thinking, this sounds like me, don't panic. You haven't missed your chance. GERD is incredibly common, and when addressed properly, it's very manageable. Most people feel dramatically better within weeks of making the right changes. And I know that you're thinking about your lifestyle changes. Doc, I work late. I can't have dinner at 7 p.m. My office ends at 8 p.m. and I'm not even home by 9:30. I hear you. And I'm not asking you to change your job. First, have light dinner. Save the heavy meal for lunch. Even if you eat at 10 p.m., a smaller portion means lesser acid production. These aren't complicated, they don't cost money, and they can make real difference. But here is when you should actually see a doctor. Here's my simple rule. If you have heartburn or acid regurgitation, which is happening on regular basis, it's time to consult a gastroenterologist. There are some red flag situations wherein you need to meet your doctor immediately. 1. If you have associated difficulty in swallowing or food getting stuck. 2. Unexplained weight loss. 3. Vomiting of blood or passing black colored stools. And lastly, if you have chest pain with sweating, breathlessness or pain radiating your arm or jaw. The last one is critical. In India, we have very high rates of heart disease, often striking people in their 30s and 40s. Dismissing chest pain as just gas can be dangerous. If there is any doubt, rule out a heart problem first. Always. When you see a gastroenterologist, here's what typically happens. They'll take your detailed medical history, understand your symptoms, and in many cases, they'll start you on medications along with lifestyle modifications. If your symptoms are severe, Or if you don't respond to initial management, then the gastroenterologist may advise for upper GI endoscopy. I know it sounds scary, but it's just a tube with a camera in. It hardly takes 1 to 2 minutes, often done under sedation so that you are comfortable and it's painless. And this is the only way to see the esophagus and stomach in a proper way. The point of all this is not to scare you, but to catch the problems early so that we can detect the problem early, manage early and prevent complications like cancer. The bottom line is that acidity is a symptom, not a diagnosis. Do meet your gastroenterologist to find out the cause and manage accordingly. Thank you.